Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of All Things Life and Sports with Kyilan Thomas. We really ain't got too much on the agenda today, but I always say that, but it might end up still being a 30-minute episode. But we gotta get into this World Cup. Obviously we know the final is set for Sunday. The final is set. The game will be between Argentina and France. Will Messi finally get the World Cup victory at 35 years of age? Now, with that being said, I'm a huge Kylian fan. I'm a huge Messi fan. So anytime it's Messi versus Ronaldo, I'm always Messi. But ever since Kylian Mbappe kind of came on the scene, I love Mbappe as well. So it's like the same thing like I told y'all in my last episode with the basketball players. Like Kyrie and KD are my favorites. Giannis is my favorite. So they all the two, my favorites are always gonna clash. But it's like the dream scenario to have those two guys go against each other, where you have Messi, the GOAT, in my opinion. I feel like it's honestly not debatable. Messi is the GOAT. It's not debatable. One guy sitting at home was benched in the last two games, and one guy is playing for the World Cup final on Sunday at 10 Eastern at 35 years of age. And isn't he in the tie for the lead with the Golden Boot? Oh, okay. So honestly, it's not a debate. That's my opinion. But you got Messi, the GOAT. Can he get the win versus the Mbappe? Kind of that up and coming. A lot of people say, could he be the next Messi? Could he be that next superstar guy? Where when you think soccer, you gonna think Mbappe. So I feel like it's set up for a great matchup. But I want to get into this World Cup game, but that was just played earlier between France and Morocco. First things first, let's give a shout out to Morocco being the first African team of African descent to make it to the semifinals of a World Cup. With that being said, the Cinderella story, but I for the amount, like, in watching the game, for the amount of time that Morocco had, like, seemed like on the ball, like the amount of chances and opportunities that they had created, and they just could not capitalize on those opportunities. France, it was only 1-0 for the longest. I felt like at a certain point in the game, in the first half, France should have been up 3-0. I mean, Olivier Giroud missed two opportunities. I'm talking about two, like, right there. Obviously, the one that hit the post, that happens. But it's two opportunities to where it could have been 3-0 going into halftime, in my opinion. But then second half comes and it's like France, I mean, it seemed like they kind of just, I don't know what it was, like kind of took the gas out, because I don't want to say they did that in the World Cup, but I mean, like I heard a commentator say Mbappe, he wasn't getting back on defense, which I could understand that, because like in basketball, say, it's kind of different, but in basketball, you have your top players, and most of the times, they gonna be dominant on the offensive end, but they not gonna be as, like, the intensity and the tenacity that they have on the offensive end. They're not gonna have it on the defensive end. So it's understandable that Mbappe isn't gonna be the one to kind of try to go back and defend. But as he saw, Morocco kept overrunning them because they had more guys. A lot of their guys was on one side of the field. He kind of started, let me get back. You see what I'm saying? But that whole second half, it just felt like Morocco, they had chance after chance after chance, opportunity after opportunity to at least get one. You see what I'm saying? Oh, and while we're on that, let me give credit, because I play goalkeeper. I got to give credit to Hugo Lloris. I watched the game, France versus England. I heard the stat of he didn't have as many. What was it? He only had a certain, like, 3 saves, was it? The whole tournament, but was allowing goals. In the midst, like, the experience and the be the veteran, to be able to stay focused, stay locked in, stay zoned on what I need to do now, what my team needs from me now. I'm not worried about goals I've given up. I'm not worried about that. They need me now. Bruh, he has been balling. Like, that France versus England game, I'm talking about bit save after bit save after bit save. Today, save. Like, the bicycle kick, like, I thought it hit the post too, but when you go back and look at it, looked like he got his hand on it to knock it out. But either way, if it hit the post, I feel like he had it covered either way. And just to be able, that veteran, that experience, that greatness, to be able to stay alert and be ready when your name is called, when you know your team is about to need you in this moment. That was big for Hugo Lloris. And like, I have my favorite keepers, but I would say I liked him, Hugo, but he wasn't really in my life. When I say my favorite, he was never a name that I would say. But after this, he's definitely up there in my list of who I would say my favorite goalkeepers are. And I saw this in the England game as well. Griezmann's service, like, bruh, Griezmann has amazing service, like, balls into the box. Amazing, phenomenal. Like, I don't know what more to say about it. It's just, he has amazing service into the box. And I don't know if, like, that's what he's known for. It sounded like from what I saw, he's very shifty, and anytime is anytime set piece, any, like, crosses, he's always the one on it, and almost every time the ball was put in a dangerous position. So with that being said, I feel like this is a great segue into what I wanted to talk about today, because I talked about in my last episode about the politics of soccer in the United States. And obviously, when it comes down to the women, and we're gonna get into it. When it comes down to the women, we're good. The women are good, are like great national team. And I'm gonna be on the women's national team one day. But anyway, the women's national team is great. Okay. But they don't play anybody. Like, I mean, who do we really play for real? Like, the women, because I'm looking at the team, some of the teams, and a lot of their players are girls that they still in college. Like, a lot of girls who's over in the States playing at places are having to play pivotal roles on their national teams. That's the competition that the women have to go against. Whereas the men, we see what the men has to go against in World Cups. So I want to get into this because, I want to get in this because I knew I was going to be talking about the World Cup. So, and let's have a comment, because this is what I want to change about soccer in the U.S. You got the women's national team, you got the men's national team. Cool. Now, how do the process for selecting players to play on these national teams? Now, I kind of just learned this, but they have U18 national team, U19, U20, U21, U22, so on, U23. Like, they have those national teams as well for the longest time, because like where I'm from, we didn't know nothing about soccer. I didn't really learn anything about soccer. Like anything I've learned about soccer so far, I've kind of had to just pick up on from watching, learning, playing, and hearing people talk. I've kind of picked up, but where I'm from, growing up, we don't talk about soccer, so it's a lot of that stuff I did not know. But they have U18, U19, 2023, all those teams, national teams, right? So, in order to, you got those teams. Most of the times, a lot of them, like some of them that played on them teams, you probably get the call up for the national team. Because, like, you know, they say a lot of guys played in academy, some kind of academy together, or played in that together, you know, club or what is it, DA, or, you know, I think it's DA. But yeah, play in that together. So, you can either get selected for the big national team, you got the U18 national team, such as that. So, how do you think those players get picked for that pool, for the U18, U19, U20? Just follow me, because we get into the politics of soccer, and then what I'm about to break. In order to get even considered and picked, you got to be on the club team, right? A high level club team. 9 times out of 10, you know, you got to be good, great. Because I know coaches and clubs probably will nominate players for that. But I say all that to say, the opportunity for a kid like me to be in that arena isn't the same as a kid whose parents got this much money. They can put this much money into soccer and training and this and that, and had a kid in that club soccer circuit since they about 5, 6 years old. And as you continue to get older and older, and y'all don't move or anything, you stay in that same circuit for the years, obviously you're going to have a little favoritism. The club's going to be familiar with you. Coaches are going to be familiar with you. So this kid's going to get that opportunity over this kid who got the raw talent, got the raw athleticism. Their parents just can't afford to have been able to have them in club, have them in a training. I remember, like, when I moved to Jacksonville with my dad, one of the main reasons was because of I knew soccer is what I wanted to do. And when researching colleges, I knew that a lot of them asked, what club team do you play for? And we knew Jacksonville Research has club teams. So try out, right? Go to the tryout. Tell me why a lot of them coaches and stuff, a lot of the girls, they had just played last year. So it's like we really just paying our money to come out here and practice with their ass. I mean, like, them people, they already knew who they were going to pick, bro. And then, like, I played goalkeeper. The girl, a lot of the other girls out there that was going for goalie, I think like one for sure. Like, they knew her. Like, she played at one of the top schools in Jacksonville. Like, so I'm like, nah, I see, but I'm like, bro, obviously they gonna pick her over me, bro. Like, so it makes you feel like, bro, they don't want us in the sport, or, you know, like, it's so political. And, like, I just feel like other sports in America, there's so many other ways, so many avenues for kids to get seen, to play, and actually have a shot. But in soccer, it's just so political. You got to have money. And it's like I know my dad told me about golf. He loved golf. It's like, it's one of them sports where if you ain't got no money, then not going to say you ain't going to go nowhere. But it's going to be hard as hell compared to a kid who parents got money and they can just put them in there starting at their age, and they learn and grow and continue to. But I would see myself, like, look at how I played versus the other goalies. And, like, bruh, they were here. And we're going to get into this conversation. Because, see, the thing about me, I've been going off my athleticism my whole life. No, I said once I really get that training, once I really get that, boy, it ain't nothing they gonna be able to do with me. But if I got to where I'm at now just off my athleticism, can you imagine? But anyway, I feel like them girls was here, and I was like, they were here, but and I was here as far as technical, stuff like that. But if you just talking about ceiling potential, I feel like they had already peaked. Cause they been in the system since they were their age, so they already about where they gonna be. And I'm already kind of right here with you, and I still got so much to learn, bro. I feel like I'm gonna be all up, and they done peaked already. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's fine. But there's some kids that's athletic and stuff, and they got the training, but it's like you kind of already know what they gonna be, and like that's what I learned. Like that's what I saw comparing, myself to other goalkeepers. I haven't seen another goalkeeper as athletic as me. I haven't seen another goalkeeper that got like the quickness, the twitch that I have. I haven't seen it. But the thing is, like, I'm 5'4", and so they try to say, "Oh, you're too short," such and such. So if I'm too short, like Kyilan Murray said, y'all think I just got short? I've been short my whole career. You think I'm just stop knowing how to play because I'm short? But so, political world of soccer, stack all them odds that I feel like I got against me. Don't have the money to be able to do the high level to get looked at and seen by college coaches. Not technical. Don't have the training and stuff, so I don't have the technicality. Too short, and I don't look like what most of them look like compared to a girl who's been in there for years. Parents had the money to put her in there. Coaches know her. They done had training, so they know how to do certain technical things. So they just gonna go with what they know, which is the biggest difference I feel, and from what I've seen between soccer and the other sports in the United States. Because I feel like if a lot of soccer people listen to this episode right here, this is the conversation we need to have, because y'all always talk about, like I saw on ESPN, they got mad because they did the graphic of LeBron James, Odell, I think Giannis was in there. Like a lot of the athletes from other sports with the soccer jerseys on. It was like, imagine if this was our team. And a lot of the soccer world was mad because they was like, why do y'all keep doing that? Y'all keep acting like we don't have great athletes in soccer, which I understand. But the reason why they do that is because soccer is not where those other sports are in the USA. And I feel like until the soccer world stops and have these discussions and come up with avenues and ways for kids like me, which with the other sports, that's why they thrive, because they have a lot of kids like me in their sport, kids that got that talent, the athleticism, just the raw, pure athleticism. You can't teach it. Other sports are gonna take that kid and develop them. Soccer, oh no, we don't want. We gonna stick with what we know. We just gonna such and such. And I'm telling you, it's not a lot. I literally had a college coach tell me it's easier that way. So, like, it just need to be changed, like, all the way around. Like, it's so much that I want to do, like, for the sport, and to open up paths and open up ways for, I used to always say girls like me, but anybody, because there's little boys out there too. Like, I coached rec soccer 7 through 9 age group this year, and boy, I had a kid on my team, little boy, fast, but never played for, so he didn't know how to dribble and stuff. But I said, boy, if I could work with him and just work on like his dribbling and stuff with that speed, can I tell you, he could run by everybody. He just ain't know what to do with it when he got it. If I can just get him and work with him, that boy will be unstoppable. But that's the thing. The other sports do that. Soccer, we don't do that. But that's the issue. That's the problem. That's the problem I feel like is Soccer is too politicized. It's too political. Y'all, give me 1 second. I gotta go pee. Sorry about that. I'm back, you guys. And just in case for the audio, if I do not figure how to edit that part out, I went to the bathroom. So, but yeah, that's the difference I feel between soccer and the other sports in America. And I know we want it to grow. We want the game to grow, but in order for the game to grow, we have to allow everyone the opportunity to come in. Let's not, y'all have this deadlock on the sport right now, and it's like y'all don't want nobody else to be able to come in and, you know, do anything in the sport. And until y'all change that, we're just gonna be stuck in this gridlock of and until soccer opens up the door for kids of all backgrounds, all opportunities, until we're ready to do that in the soccer community, it's never going to be as big as other sports, because the other sports have that understanding. So with that being said, that is my second episode. But before y'all go, I want to shed light on some of my mom's work. So first of all, this is a weekly lesson plan. This is sheets with natural hair designs on them. Different pictures she has different ones. I kind of just pulled this one. So this is an example of how the inside looks. So it's lesson plan sheets and different hairstyles. For the audio, the title of this is Weekly Lesson Plan Sheets, Braid, and Natural Hair Design. She also has another book, 163 questions I'm going to ask before I get married for the third time. Yeah, it's a lot of funny, interesting questions in there. The title of that, 163 questions I'm going to ask before I get married for the third time. She also has Sex and the Healing Power of God, from sexual abuse, promiscuity, hating sex to good sex. That's this one. And she has Starting Over at 40, How I Found My Own Genius. This is a great, inspirational read on finding purpose. And, and lastly, she has a children's book, it's based on kind of the experiences she went through as a little girl, kind of put in a way for other little girls to read and kind of get encouragement, get courage, and, from it. It's called Little Faith, Stories to Help Little Girls Be Brave, Beautiful, and Great. And that is this one. If you guys want any of those, You can reach out to me or you can reach out to her, Shalanda Faye. Her name is Shalanda Faye. You can go to Amazon and type in Shalanda Faye and the books will pop up. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. And remember, everything got to be done before you try to have fun. Peace.